why it needs to continue, because again, once you have started something that is going to be more beneficial to our people, it's important for there to be continuation. So sector by sector, even rule of law, which is Freedom Act, all of those things were things that never happened before. And so one thing that is probable in my view is that the amount of education did not go down as should be.
Now, so
what we are doing now is to educate people more, not just because the president is called George Weah. We want to highlight more of the successes that have been done, but not just successes, to compare where we were to where we are now. Because again, for you to say that you do more, we need to see where you started from and where you are, and then there's going to be a room for more improvement.
Now, in just a few minutes ago, you indicated, because I was trying to inquire from you as to what really went wrong, that the votes were not, the victory was not getting on the first ballot, and you indicated the issue of tribal politics, and you said people bought into that. Now, what is the disadvantage preaching tribal politics that ought to have continue to peddle in this electoral process?
So the first thing is, look, Seboe, we had a bigger pass, very nasty pass between starting from 1990 to 2003. And we don't want to go back there, because even as much as it was civil war, it turned tribal war. You understand? Now, to begin to preach tribal politics, and I listened to Prince Johnson, who has a history beclouded with massive killings, and he tried to tell the people in Nimba that we need to carry our own, and making sounding as if that if it doesn't happen, we are going to be doomed for some war again. That is nasty. That is bad. Yes, somebody says that compare the votes from the southeast. Now, when you compare the southeast to Nimba and Olofa, you don't take 6 counties and compare it to 1 or 2 counties. But let me say this, because people want to compare that, and I have been clear. The people in the southeast voted because of envy in the manner and faction in which they voted. That's the first thing. They've seen that all of the other counties, for example, have got many developments going on. Roads connectivity between Ganta, Tapeta, road for Tapeta, Ganta, going to Yekepa, now going to Wasanikwele, and then Lokato. On the Lofa and the Sea Road, coming from Abanga, going to Wasala, eventually into Vonjima, and it's going to reach to Fuya. If you have a president who've done those things in that sector of the country, the people in the southeast have said, we needed to vote for this president, not because he comes from the southeast, but because he has shown to us that he has a developmental drive. And so when he's re-elected, we can also drive from here to Sano under 6 hours. We can drive from here to Grand Crew under 10 hours. That was the rationale behind the voting. It was not because of trouble.
The people say it now.
No, of course, yes, because I want to disabuse our mind that they voted because it's Joshua and he comes from the southeast. No, they were voting in the manner in which they voted because they are envious, they are jealous, they want development also. And so if this president is on record of doing development in the counties from the northern side, we think we need to vote him also so that he does the same in our area. So I'm like thinking, the guys in Nimba and Lofa see all of the developments that have happened in the past 6 years. Why would they not want to vote for a president who's done all of those things? And the only reason is because Prince Johnson, who is a new warlord, tried to threaten them that if you did it this way, you'll be getting in harm's way. And that's the kind of politics we need to lower, because at the end of the day, we need Liberia to be Liberia. You understand? You can push your politics and say why you want your candidate without threatening or bringing the issue of war up. A second issue, how can you win in the southeast when your standard bearer did not visit the southeast the entire campaign? The people want to see the president Tell us what you can do. But you had a standard bearer who did not go to the south. One county during the actual campaign time to the southeast, and you say the people in the south voted because the president comes from there. No, the president went to all 15 counties. He will normally say 72 districts because he doesn't want to include the district in which he lives. He visited every district. You understand? So he saw himself, and it was not because of southeast against the northern part or against Nimba and Alofa. What we are saying is the mistakes that we made. Take for example, 114,000 invalid votes. 114,000. It only implies to me that one, our people were not very much educated in the voting process, or a lot of people voted with thumb. If the ink does not dry and you voted the people, the ink is going to spray across. So all of those things that we are looking at to ensure that we educate our people massively, because this win must be a Joshua win. It must be a win for Liberia, because piggybacking on the fact that we've done massive development in terms of where we were and where we are now. With a second term, we can do a lot more.
Now, speaking about Praise Johnson, there was this audio that came out, and I think I need to play this audio in which he was trying to indicate that if Boyka, the ambassador, won the election, Cone Jeremiah will be the one to do. But let me just play so that you listen yourself.
I want you to be careful. We are fighting for Nima County to take the lead, and Nima will win in the name of Jesus. Basa with us, Bapoli with us, Bomi with us, Lofa with us, Hong County with us. What is your problem? Then you on the radio on me. Hey, my brother, what I do? All right. You gotta change, because you as know your boss cannot cover the whole berege. We're fighting for you. Equals our mama. Nimba will win. Abio bato pa. Abo make up the kokaruzi. Hey, kwaze iru boom, and we did it. We are fighting for you. We're begging you people. If you make them a disgrace, or it will be good for you. When you turn to them against our prayer for you to produce vice president, the woman is old. He take Kun to be vice president. When we win, then I could be doing the job for you. Can you go everywhere?
Okay, so this is a point when he wins,
and so that is the issue. It's not about Liberia. It's about a sector, a county, and see, Joseph Boakai has a long history in governance. I don't want to take anything from him, but let's be clear. Those who stay in the front line of his campaign, they're already projecting that he's not going to be a president. You understand? Besides health issue, which I don't want to dive into, but the fact is, he's failing in terms of his age. And Prince Johnson is telling you the reason why he's pushing that politics is eventually Nimba will produce president. It can't be on that basis. It can be on the basis of those who have worked, and you can show the work you've done, which is an indication that when you win again, you can do a lot more. But that kind of politics, again, like I said, now we have to be careful.
Now, so let me draw the ask you in this fashion. What do you think may likely happen, especially listening to Prince Johnson, that if the ambassador Joseph Boakai wins, he's not going to do the work. In fact, the work will be done by Jeremiah Korn, and that also indicates that Prince Johnson now will be close to the executive mansion.
I was getting that point, Seboe. Okay. I've worked with Jeremiah Korn. We stayed in the house for 3 years before he transitioned to the Senate. And Jeremiah will tell you that whatever Prince Johnson says he's going to do,
you're going to do.
Of course, 99.99% of the times, Jeremiah Korn is going to listen to Prince Johnson. So what is going to imply in effect is that if Jeremiah Korn is the president, Prince Johnson is the president de facto.
de facto president.
Exactly. Now, and we need to understand that judging from past of the Prince Johnson we know, you know what it implies that Prince Johnson is going to be running the country. And that's why our folks in Nimba County need to understand, because this is not just about a county or a region, it is about the country, 15 counties, 73 districts. We cannot be preaching politics that shows that it is about us as Nimba County, and even indicating before your candidate wins that why are you worried about? Let a president, because he's going to be dormant. He's not going to be around. We're going to be the president. With that indication, every Liberian, Libyans, Lithians, we need to sit down and rethink that where we are going could lead us to our ugly past because of the kind of rhetorics that are coming out of the mouth of Prince Johnson. And so we got to be on alert, and that's why we are going to be ensuring that our team and the president himself will do his best to try to as many places in the next 10 15 days to ensure that we get this win, because it's going to be a win for Liberia, and not Southeast, not Nimba, not Lofa, but the entire Liberia.
Now, let's look at it from another dimension, especially from the dimension of our international relations, our image. Having a de facto president, like you call him, Prince Johnson, after Ambassador Joseph Boka had won, what do you think may happen to our international relations?
I tell people that we know the answer. If this president who is going to be a de facto president already has immense issues, negative issues, in fact, with the international community, we are going to fall down the ladder in terms of our international clout that we've been building over the years. You understand? And nobody wants that to happen. And that's why it is important to ensure that we stop this. Owner Joe Baka as a person, again, I am not saying he's not able to work, but concerning the fact of his age and the fact that he is ailing very, very much, and he will not be able to do the work, it will imply that Prince Johnson is going to be controlling the direction of this country. Now, you've just brought out a factor we need to consider: our international standing.
Yes, surely.
You already on sanction. You are a potential person who's going to war crime. Why do we want to put our country into that? And so for us, what we've been saying is, look, we bring more to the table in terms of what we've done and what we intend to do. We've shown that we are responsible. We may have not done everything we want to do, but that's the fact that we've done some things points to the fact that when we win again, we can do a lot more. But not just that. Another thing that we've shown is that we have struck a gender balance. And that's why, and that's the choice the Liberian women and the Liberian men who are he for she's, who look at that we want to bring women at the pedestal to understand that we are as equal as women are. Okay. And so projecting a candidate who takes a female as a running mate even shows to the world and to Liberians that women are no longer in the background. Okay. And that's why we've brought that picture to show. And interestingly enough, the ticket, the ballot now is going to show 2 men against a woman and a man. And if women are equally, in terms of population size, we almost 50-50 or slightly in the age of women. If women will sit down and men who are responsible men who have got girls and mothers and wives to take care of, will look at that ticket and trash it for a ticket that will show no dominance in the 21st century, then there's an issue to look at also. So again, we are looking at it from a holistic point of view, that our ticket presents the best option, and that's why, though we did not win the first round, but we got more votes, first of all. The second thing is because of all of the other politics that have played, we will ensure that we speak the real truth to our people, so that they see that George Weah and Madam Taylor will give us the best option in terms of leadership in our country.
You're listening to the Super Morning Show, right here on the OBC 99.9 and also focuses across Liberia. Our studio guest is District Number 16, Representative-elect Dixon Seboe. Now, coming on this program, Representative Seboe, if I don't ask you about some of the major strides made in our economy, I wouldn't feel comfortable, because I'm sure you've been part of all the effort and all of that, making sure that the central bank today is operating independently than in the past, where the government was always borrowing from the central bank, and our relationship as well with the IMF. Do you care to tell us as to what it was when this administration took over before making all those strides, improving the economy?
So you see, and that's one of the reasons why we need to continue in the path in which we are. Because again, 2017, we inherited a messy economy. I mean, another one saying the fact that we never even had sufficient funding in the bank to even operate government. And then whilst we were struggling, people falsify information that 16 billion was lost, 25 million was used inappropriately for mop-up. But we were able to manage the economy such that we have transitioned. Then, in the phase of being transitioning, COVID came, but yet we were able to maintain government workers, we were able to pay salaries, we were able to ensure that the economy got stable. Inflation went to as low as high as 30%. Today, don't take my word for it. Take the IMF report and the World Bank report. We are dangling now between 7 and 8%. We have grown a revenue from domestic revenue that was at its highest peak at around 480 million to in excess of 600 million. We are expanding the economy in every area. So, again, because of those things that have happened, I know there are some issues that people will have that the president himself have addressed in the recent past concerning salaries, harmonization, and all of those. But by and large, on the overall, the economy is stable and is moving upwards. Those are the reasons why you need to see that this president and his government should be re-elected. You talk about the central bank. Until the past 9 months to a year, the rate started living from 150. But after we did all of our workings with the central bank, made it as independent as possible, the rate stayed at 150 for almost 2 years and a half. You understand? It was because of all the things that we put in, making sure that we stop borrowing from the central bank. So now government operates all herself. If we don't have monies to pay, we have to find it to pay. You understand? Instead of borrowing from the countries.
As it was been done before in the past.
And so I worked in Ellen government, and everybody said, "Oh, we are taking pay on the 24th." Yeah, we are taking pay on the 24th every time, because if we did not even have the money, we go to the central bank and borrow. And in most cases, we did not record the borrowing. So that's why under our government we came, we made sure that we validated all of the debt and showed the real debt portfolio we had. Unlike before, there were a lot of hidden things, but we clean up the record. And so today, government is doing the best to ensure that the functions of government are being run based on the limited resources we have. I say limited because, again, of course, needs are going to be insatiable. If you pay somebody 1,000 now after 2 months, the 1,000 is going to be smaller than 1,005. Sure. And so it's a growing concern. But by and large, based on the records, based on the reports of our international partners, our economy is stable and is moving in an upward direction. Again, GDP is projected to move upwards, going to 5, 6, 7%. That is in our favor. And it tells you of the kind of fiscal management the president brings to the table, and we are moving in the right direction.
Talking about fiscal management, we are hearing from your colleagues from the other side. In fact, the ambassador, we heard that if at all it comes to power, the issue of civil service will be drastically reduced. what do you think could be the aftermath? What do you think could be the consequences on the lives of the Liberian people who he wants to lead to this?
So Liberian people just have to know the kind of president he's going to be, and is there going to be a president? I mean, a halfway president, because again, predominantly Jeremiah is going to be in charge, which is an indication that Prince is going to be in charge, Prince Johnson. But to begin to talk about reducing civil servants, now, did we carry civil servants? Did we increase the amount of civil servants? Partly yes, partly no, because again, there are a lot of people who are working with the civil service that we met on that were not getting salaries.
Okay.
So they were just getting stipend and or only like salary. So what we did was to ensure that those group of people, more than 20,000, they were put on because they were already working. You understand? There were teachers who were working who were just giving supplementary, they were not being paid. Because we put all of those people on the payroll, they claim that we brought more people in. No. Yes, we brought some people in, but predominantly those who increased the payroll were people who were working and they were being unjustly treated.
Okay.
And so we did that. For him to even be saying that he will reduce the civil servants, that means that he has got an ill intention. What we've said is that we considered that because our partners are saying, look, your payroll is getting too bloated, you need to reduce. Our best fit at that time was not to tell people to go home, was to harmonize. Now, in our view, again, seeing from hindsight right now, it may have not been the best thing to do, but also we are between a rock and a hard place. That's why the president said, no, we will revisit this whole issue of harmonization because of it, especially thinking from an economic point of view. Salaries are rigid upwards. I mean, you cannot be bringing people's salary down. What we should have done more at the time was to ensure that those who were down, we continue to take them up until they get equal to those who are in the upper class. You understand what I'm saying? So if Seboe and I did the same work and I was making 3,000 and someone for some reason was being paid 500, you should be bringing my 3,000 down, but gradually increase Seboe's salary and so that is commensurate with me. You understand what I'm saying? So that is our approach. Unlike saying we send Seboe home and so that he goes and does not have a job to do. And so all of us, including the president in his last remarks, said we'll revisit to see how we can make sure this works more. But in the process of revisiting, you know what we're doing? We are raising more revenue. So when we create more revenue space, it means that we'll have the added advantage to be able to carry the rest of the people's salaries up instead of saying we'll send them home, which is a core issue that Joe Braga and Prince Johnson and Jeremiah Cohen want to do when they should have won.
0776 540 987 is an alternative line, or better still 0880 514 096. Again, 0880 514 096, or better still 0776 540 987. That's the numbers to call, and you are live on this program. We have District number 16, Representative-elect Dixon Seboe, as our guest on the second and final lap of the program. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. George.
Yes, sir.
My name is Jerry Matthews, calling from Maryland County, to be precise, Harper City.
Let's hear from you, Martin.
First of all, I want to say thanks to the honorable man in the studio there. You see, the politics that some people pushing up there, we that in the southeast, that's not the kind of politics we are pushing. The reason for which we vote that president, we are, and we massively vote for him. We walk our road when you leave from Maryland, you know, reach straight in Montserrado the same day, and we do it massively. And some of our friends that run behind this old man, including Prince Johnson, they are not thinking about the negative power when the old man win, God forbid. The international community will not look in the face of that government. But some of them, they are not thinking about it. But we are praying to God that some of them should change their mind and join us. Thank you very much.
Many thanks. Many thanks. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, this is for people calling. And I speak to you from Dixon number 5 in Batala.
Let's hear from you.
Good morning. Yeah,
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is for people calling. I speak to you from Dixon number 5.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
You know, I listen to the studio guest, But there's certain thing I want to say concerning for the other play by you people from the angle of Prince Johnson from Nima County. I think Prince Johnson is not Prince Johnson, the one that travel for politics. It is in the government because it's very simple. Because when it comes in the employment system in the government, a proper decision taken by those appointed ministers. How many proper appointed ministers we are born county people? We also need, after we have taken 100,000 votes, and give it to this really establishment. I want you people to tell me, I'm not talking about deputy minister. Deputy minister is just like remote control. Our cabinet minister to meeting the president of the republic.
Okay, you made your point. Good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm okay, sir.
Yeah, I'm Seboe Sharif calling from the borough of Newcombe. Yeah, I just want to applaud my Lord, my Honorable Dixon, who I received. He have made my day and my breakfast was very nice this morning. Yeah, I say all, but what I want to add also is for us to stand on our feet and do more campaign for the coming 12 days, because the 12th of November is the closing day of the campaign.
Okay.
And we are going to rally around him to join him to campaign for the president, because the president winning is the biggest win for the district, for Liberia as large.
Okay.
So I'm very much grateful to the lawmaker. Thank you for whatsoever you have said, and thank you to the ELDC family.
Okay, many thanks also. Good morning. Good morning.
Seboe, how you doing?
I'm okay, sir.
Stevenson, Zero Whiskey.
Let's hear from you, Steve.
Let me say congratulations to Honorable Seboe, and love his loyalty towards the president. That's why the Bible says, let us be our brother's keeper. Your brother worrying should be your worrying. Your brother happiness should be your happiness. Secondly, I love the question asked the oral aspect, our expectation when it comes to winning first round. Indeed, our expectation was very high, Seboe, because when you look at the kind of job this president have done into this country, this president who was classified in different negative things, to see him working the way he worked with inferiors, with limited resources, unlike president who promised us that we were going to walk on glass, unlike president that built our nation in the blueprint. Our expectation is supposed to be high that we're supposed to win the election on the first ballot. But here where the problem comes from. For myself, I realized that this election is not about development. This election is here to be about relationship. And there where the 15 countries who didn't blunder, they were supposed to have purchased this president to be a point of attraction, point of connectivity. This is why the president has decentralized himself through them. Or if today, if you listen to any country, there are social complaints about the very local authority. So this is our problem. We need to come back and apologize to the Liberian people. But this president is a good president, but the followers are starving to the back. Thank you very much.
Let's take this other caller. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning to this table. Let me get through so that's one guy in my car from my retail.
Okay.
Let me appreciate and see what this morning or do I congratulate the us. And when it comes to the issue of the type of policy that have been pushed by the campaign, I don't think it is necessary for the country right now. Because people say, you are telling that it was type of policy that was collective. You know that everyone has to pass through your country before going to the SOEC. The SOEC will be not at some, but the Senate rule has come a long way. And you will not tell the people say the same fourth person we are. They will look at it with the SOEC vote. I don't think it is necessary. And I'm grateful to God. I'm not in the either going to where. Since you keep on board, there are lots of people coming because it has the people on our side. So thank you for going the opportunity.
Many thanks. Let me take this one. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Papa Josh.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
A drink from Sino.
From Sano County.
All right, yeah, I'm starting the show this morning lengthily, and I say thanks for the studio guest of almost Dixon Seboe. I know from Stino County, President was already tapped in one Stino County. But they say one woman said something that's very, it goes down well with me, and very I agree to that.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to start what is our problem is rule. That's what he said this morning. If you want to go to Morocco, you want to get to Ghana, they stay almost 4 or 5 days. But when you let the president for the second time so that the president can give us a better rule, and the Ghana just to grant you factors you. It is not the president, but we not put the president where because of trouble getting them because from the southeast. No. What the president will go for the table. So thank you very much this morning.
Many thanks. Let me take this caller. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, let me go to this line. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, your name.
Good morning.
Yes, your name.
Yeah, this is Augustine Gate, and I call from Virginia.
Okay, Mr. Gay, let's hear from you.
Yeah, for me, my point, I want to say thank you to the honorable man in studio and congratulations for the election. For me, what I know for we the Southeast, the reason we are going to campaign totally for the re-election of President Weah is that for the past time we know that we have been suffering for road, and the past government is been known for destroying things that other president built, especially take for the instance our national minister of national defense that was constructed by the late President Doe was destroyed instead of adding or finishing it. They don't want to finish it and destroy it with all the money added on it, destroying it. And even looking at the southeast, the road, quota carrying quota behind, and having all of area counties struck when cars are going stop before reaching the quota. So for us, we are yearning for George Weah in this county because we want for the road to reach us in this county, especially Grand Judah. We have been suffering for long, and we know that he is the only president that can complete other president projects.
Okay, Madison, we take a little more calls. Go back to our studio guest to respond. Good morning.
Good morning, sir, brother. How you doing?
I'm okay, sir.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why Prince Johnson will be crying foul in terms of the Southeast voting massively for the president in the first round of the election. If you listen to the clip that you played a moment ago, he named some counties, but he did not even mention a county from the Southeast. Where he said Bombay with us, Cape Mount with us, Lopa with us. He did not even make mention of one county name from the Southeast. So why you will be crying foul at the end of the first round based on the result? So I don't think there's a need for us to give key attention to what is going on, what is coming out of Zimbabwe, because the country belongs to every tribe. The composition of all of the tribes made of this country. So whenever a particular group of people make a decision in terms of what will better them, it should not be tribalism, the issue of tribalism.
Okay. Many thanks. Let me take this last one and then go back to my studio guest to respond. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, I'm William T. I call from District 3, Montserrado.
Let's hear from you.
I want to tell the honorable thank you, congratulations. But I think the session of this, I'd like for the honorable to come to the platform with honesty. Look, you can't come out and tell us today that Jeremiah Kun or Prince Johnson will be a de facto president based on that recording. If you listen to the recording, the guy is saying that Jeremiah Kun is strong. Even if they take power, Jeremiah Kun would be able to do most of the work. And the vice president is close to presidency. And he's needed to help the president in all aspects in order to accomplish established. You are seeing Jeremiah come by his character, by his responsibility as a representative, as a senator. He has done well, even more than most of the guys that are even wanting to contest for presidency.
Okay. You made your point already. Time has caught up with us. Let's go to our studio guest to respond to those concerns, questions, and then we take leave of him quickly.
So thank you again. I will start from William quickly because I don't want to lose my thought on his. Again, I was not the one who was speaking. It was Prince Johnson speaking. If he wants to interpret what Prince Johnson said, that is not from what we've heard, and that's his own issue. But again, we are clear that the politics that has been played by Prince Johnson is trouble, and it has a propensity of leading us to our ugly past. We must get up, and the caller before him said it rightly. Preach politics for development. Preach politics because what we need as a region, and not because of saying we are from Nimba. Because when you bring Nimba alone is not Liberia. If all of the other counties who have said that we will vote for only our kind who came from our county, it means that we must as well just divide the country based on counties, and every county becomes a country by itself. We can't go there. And what is even more important is the fact that we need to emphasize that tribal politics will lead us to our ugly past, and we cannot afford as Liberians to go back there.
Okay.
And so Prince Johnson must tell the people in Nima something better than that. If you even go down to the history, the only reason why people in Nima have consistently voted for Prince Johnson is because of warmongering, because he threatens people at the war and reminds people that he was a savior in killing other people. We gotta be clear. So let's look at Liberia as one and push Liberia agenda instead of a county agenda or a tribal agenda. All of the folks who've called from Maryland, Granger, Sino, they've been clear and they've just reiterated what I said, that they were voting because of envy. They were voting because of jealousy. They won race in their counties. I come from Sino originally. And I want to go to Panama in Sino County to make my own farm also. But you can't get there on another less than 15 hours, depending on the time of the year. And so those guys were not voting George Weah because he's a Weah and he comes from Southeast. They were voting because they want roads too. And road is our major problem. The Minister of Agriculture was this year. When you ask her for the real factor concerning us growing rice, she said that some rice have been grown here, but a lot of people cannot move from farm to market. So at the end of the day, the market does not absorb even what they are producing. If we connect our country and we connect the Southeast, it means that more and more agriculture things will be brought to market, and we will change our country's dynamics. And so again, all of our folks were voting because of Wu and not because of George Weah being from there. But besides that, George Weah went there to make his case. You did not go there, even though you want to be president of Southeast. If you listen to the recording again, somebody reiterated, Prince Johnson did not name one county in the Southeast. So it's putting the other counties against the Southeast, which is the most underdeveloped side. The most underdeveloped side say we will vote for somebody who has developed the other side, and you question their rationale. They are just doing that because they want to be developed also. And so that's the politics they have pushed. We will counter that politics to ensure that our people are enlightened, and they are enlightened more. My colleague from Nikuta stated that we need to do more in campaigning and in educating our people. Again, like I said, Seboe, 114,000 invalid votes. Almost 400,000 people never went to the polls. 2.3 million people registered, about 1.8 going to 1.9 people voted. That's almost 400,000 people who sat home, who said, anybody who won't win my way. We need to tell them that anybody who wins is going to be a president. And so in my district, and I call all my colleagues in the districts, I am moving from community to, as I sit here right now, my folks are on the Kawa Road going towards Montserrado East to make the case for all of us to turn out, because this is about us. We need to educate our people more, and we're going to be doing that. Someone talked about appointment of people, and that's the trouble politics. Because when the president wins, he wins for Liberia. His appointment, he doesn't appoint anybody from Guinea. The people who are appointed do not come from Africa.
They are all Liberians.
They are all Liberians. So it's the choice of the president at a particular point in time. But also, let's see the bigger picture. It's not just about ministerial function, it's about other functions that help the ministerial function. So if we went to that and we went to Nima County and you see the amount of people in the executive from Nima County, or when you go to local county, the entire fiscal sector
It's in the hands.
in the hands of
People
so
from
it's,
Japan.
it's not about Lufa and Nimba in terms of appointment. It is whether the president has appointed people who can do the job and whether they are Liberians. In our case, all the people appointed by the president are Liberians. Still struck a point that I want to end on about local authorities. We all need to see this thing not about Joshua want to be president. We need to see it's about ourselves, about us as leaders. We making the case that because of development, today more counties have connectivity into electricity, and you want to question that. How can you question that? More counties have been connected. More counties have schools. More besides that, the president wants to ensure that more and more of our kids go to school and go to school free. How can you look at other bills and say you cannot vote for him because he is not from Nimba County? Nimba has benefited more. Lufa is benefiting more based on human resource development, based on road connectivity, based on everything else. And so we are calling on Liberians, not on Libyans and Lothians and on Southeasterners, but Liberians to see that this president has moved the country from point A to B, and we want to go to C, but the only way it can happen is making sure that he's re-elected and not paying attention to the tribal politics or paying attention to the fact that when Joseph Blacker wins, again, I'm not the one saying it. Prince Johnson has said it. Costa has reiterated that he's not going to be able to function. And it means that Jeremiah Cole, who is my friend but astute also to Prince Johnson, is going to be the president in charge. And
Just making Prince Johnson a de facto president.
no, just making Prince Johnson a capital de facto president.
Can you
And we don't want that. And so we are calling on Liberians. Let's maintain the peace. We win the first round. There is no major incidents of hostility. Of course, there will always be some minor things, but let's keep the peace. We won the first round. This government did not go on air and claim victory in any way. We sat down and waited for NEC to pronounce the second round, and we are moving out again. The president is concerned about winning. We are concerned about winning. We'll continue the path of campaigning to ensure that the president wins on the 14th of November.
District number 16, representative-elect Dixon Seboe. Many thanks, and thank you for taking time off a busy schedule to appear on this program.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, so there's a song we are shutting down with. I know you want to dance this one. We'll dance it. When I'm on tomorrow, we'll dance it. I know Jara wants a copy. Titi wants a copy. I mean, you are the spare time, yeah. Marlon Johnson is something back. But that's just how go home. There's a presentation of the Super Money Show. Join us tomorrow. God's wedding. I'll be right back. There's no second change.